In today's video, I'm going to be doing my unboxing and first impressions on the brand new Galaxy A16 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the Galaxy A16 5G in the house finally. We don't have a full retail price on this device yet, since this is the international version and the US version has not come out yet, but I'm sure you guys can expect a starting base price of about $199. So I'm pretty sure they're going to release it at that price in the United States. Again, the starting variant is going to be 128 gigabytes of internal storage and 4 gigabytes of RAM. You can actually go up with different configurations. You can go up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, you can get 6 gigabytes of RAM in the middle, which I did with this one, and you can go as high as 256 gigabytes of internal storage. The other thing about this device as well is you can actually expand your storage via micro SD card. So that's a really nice thing that we still have on this device, which a lot of other mid-range and flagship devices don't have. And depending on the region that you guys are in, you are going to have a different processor. So we have two different processors. You're going to either get the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 or the Exynos 1330. Now, considering we're in the United States and I'm sure most people are watching from the US, I'm pretty sure we're going to get the Dimensity 6300 if I'm not mistaken. And last year, the Galaxy A15 had the Dimensity 6100. We also have a 5000 milliamp battery inside of here. We have a Super AMOLED display inside this device with a 90 hertz refresh rate. That's going to look great. We do actually have an IP54 dust and splash resistance on this device as well, which is completely new. We've never seen that before. And I think the most beautiful thing of all on this phone, we're going to have 6 years of operating system updates. Insane stuff right here, but let's get straight into this unboxing. All right guys, so this is a pretty basic unboxing right here. First and foremost, of course, we're going to have our SIM ejector tool right there, and the rest of the stuff in here is of course our quick start guide and our safety and warranty information, as well as our USB Type-C to Type-C data cable. We are not going to be getting a charger brick inside this box. And of course, last but not least, we have the phone right here. So far, for whatever reason, this feels much heavier than the Galaxy A15 5G. I do not know why. I know it is a little bit bigger. So instead of a 6.5 inch phone like we saw in the Galaxy A15, this is going to be 6.7 inches. So this is definitely going to be bigger. This comes in a variety of different colors. I got like the light green version, or really this kind of looks like blue in real life. Man, I love this color. This kind of looks like a turquoise, I guess. Really like this though. We're going to go ahead and boot it up, and I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so we do have some differences from last year, which I'm sure some of you already know. It's going to be a little bit sad. We'll talk about in a second. But first and foremost, we of course have that Samsung logo at the bottom of this bright blue, beautiful phone right here. And of course, at the top of this device, we're going to have a triple camera setup. Once again, looking like pretty much every other phone in Samsung's lineup right now, from the S24 FE to all the way to the Galaxy S24 Plus. Starting off with our main lens, we're going to have a 50 megapixel wide angle camera. Our secondary is going to be a 5 megapixel ultra wide, and our third is going to be a macro camera. And we are capable of shooting up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. And of course, to the right of that, we're going to have our LED flash. Nothing else on the back though, pretty plain Jane. Going to the right side of our phone, we have our volume up and down rocker, and just below that we have that new key island design that we saw in the Galaxy A15 5G for the first time. So we're still going to be having that same design right there, which I don't think looks too bad. Top of the device, we are going to have our noise canceling mic. Left side of the device, we are going to have our SIM tray. And bottom of the device, I'm sure you guys can already see it, we have our loudspeaker, we have our USB Type-C port, we have our noise canceling mic. But guys, we have no more headphone jack on this device. So that kind of sucks. I know a lot of people do use wireless earbuds, or they might use earbuds that go into the USB Type-C port. But for the audiophiles out there that really want headphones or want that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, I'm sorry to say that the Galaxy A16 will not have that anymore. Also, I don't want to forget this, we actually do have a 25 watt charging rate on this, which is really good. If you guys don't know, like the Galaxy S24 FE, a device that cost 3 times more than this device, has about a 25 watt charging rate on it, and many other flagship devices only go up to 25 watt. So that's pretty crazy that we have that on here. We're gonna get a fast charging experience on here, and with that 5,000 milliamp battery, we're also rated to get about 11 hours screen on time with this device. So this is definitely going to be a 2-dayer if you guys are moderate to light users. So it's definitely a really decent battery life on this device. First and foremost though, booting up this phone, this is super snappy. I know this has 6 gigabytes of RAM, so that's definitely accounting for the snappiness of this device. But yeah, processor is going to be a little bit better than last year's as well, so that's definitely some to take into account. The display on this also looks really good. Of course, a lot of people aren't going to like that big old block at the bottom of the phone, and of course we have the same teardrop notch right there that I'm not too fond of, just as a lot of the other people aren't either. But I would say the display looks really good, and I'm glad that they did a 6.7 inch display this time around, because you're definitely getting a little bit more screen real estate, which is great to see. Going into our drop down menu right here, we have our basic stuff like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sound, auto rotate, flashlight. We have our scan QR code, quick share. We have our multi-control. Kind of sucks we don't have DeX inside of this device, so that's not there. We, however, do have Smart View. We also have device controls right there as well. So that is what you guys are going to see in your drop down menu. Also, if there's anybody asking if there's wireless charging, there is sadly no wireless charging on this device. But let's go ahead and take a look at those cameras really quick. So getting into the cameras, the front facing camera, I didn't talk about that yet. That's going to be a 13 megapixel wide angle camera. So you guys are going to be able to use that 0.5 wide angle mode to get more content inside of your lens. Beautiful to see it. And we can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second with our front facing camera as well. Going to the bottom of our camera application, we have portrait mode, which is great to see. We have our video, of course, that goes up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. And of course, we have more, which is our pro mode, our panorama, food, night, macro, slow motion, and hyperlapse. And of course, we can always go into the AR zone and make our own emojis and stuff like that. So that's great to see. Just gonna take a quick little photo and see what type of detail and color we're getting on this device. So pretty quick little shutter speed, and overall in studio lighting, this is looking good so far. We are going to go into a full review very soon, especially on the camera. We'll do a whole separate video on that. But this is looking good so far. And year after year, the A16 series has been doing really good. So I'm excited to see if there's some improvement from last year's camera. So not too shabby so far. We do have a little bit of bloatware like Netflix, Spotify, Facebook on here that you guys can go ahead and delete. But so far, this display is looking really good. This, of course, is a Super AMOLED display. The colors on this just look really good. So you guys are going to get those deep, contrasty colors on here. So the reds, greens, blues, everything is going to look really nice and punchy. Definitely in love with Samsung's displays, and especially their budget displays. They're always super impressive for the price tag. But the last couple things I want to do is go ahead and test out the speaker, go ahead and take a look at the video on YouTube, see how that looks. Then we'll call it a day. We'll do the tips and tricks, the pros and cons, and of course we're going to have my full review and everything else later on. But let's get into the display and the speakers on this device. Alright guys, so this device only has one speaker, and that is going to be located at the bottom of the phone. So it's not going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's not going to have stereo speakers, which kind of sucks. But let's see how this loudspeaker does on the A16 5G. So the speaker is definitely nothing to write home about. I don't think it's greater than the Galaxy A15 5G speaker. So I don't think anything's really changed on this. Nothing to write home about. I would say for $199 though, it's acceptable. It does have a little bit of tin on this, so just know that. And we don't have a stereo speaker, so overall just acceptable. Next up, we're going to check out the Super AMOLED 90 Hz refresh rate display and see how this looks. This is 1080p 60 frames per second. Let's see how this goes. So yeah guys, nice Super AMOLED display, 90 hertz refresh rate, 385 ppi. The colors and everything look really good. You get some great clarity on this, and the display is very smooth. So I'm definitely getting that experience even when not watching YouTube or Netflix or anything like that. But yeah, display is very decent overall. It's definitely above average, especially for the price tag. But yeah, looks really good. I would say the only thing I don't really like on this device so far is the speaker. I think it's definitely lacking. I don't know, the last thing I was listening to before this 4K video I was looking at sounded okay. But yeah, the speaker is a bit tinny depending on what video you're watching. So just make sure to get yourself some earbuds when you're like watching Netflix and stuff like that, so you guys can make the experience the best experience when viewing something. But overall, I don't think it's too bad. I just think for the movie watchers and the TV watchers, it's definitely going to be better to wear those earbuds. But overall, if this device releases at $199 in the United States, like I believe it will, I think this device is still going to do really good. Now, if you guys have the Galaxy A15 5G, would I upgrade? No, I would not upgrade. I would just save your Galaxy A15 5G and maybe get the Galaxy A17 and hold off, because I've been getting a lot of questions about that, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask that as well. But overall, the Galaxy A16 5G is not too shabby. We did see some new things on here, like the IP54 dust and water resistance, also that 6 years of operating system updates. Wild stuff for a $200 phone foreseeably. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, drop a like, and if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.